Yes. This country will be turned into civil war. Yeah! The day that MK is not allowed to campaign and to be on the ballot paper.
Well, we've been hearing that, and I just want to make it very clear to anyone who is threatening any form of unrest, they will be followed up and they will be arrested. Those are people who belong in jail. Those are people.
Okay, let's talk about this, right? EMK-ET. If, that is what MK said, if MK is stopped from participation politically, then there's going to be anarchy in this country. And I sat there and I said to myself, why do people want to stop EMK to begin with? Because that's the first conversation that you and I need to have. Why do people want to stop MK using the judicial system? Number two, EMK is saying, you remember I quoted a video. Remember I once inserted a video. I couldn't find the longer version of that video where, if I'm not mistaken, her name is, I think it's Jessie. It is the late Jessie Duarte. She made an announcement. In the announcement, she said they've come to a realization or a conclusion that they need to disband the MK. So the MK was no longer their interest, so they disbanded the MK. After that, Zuma and the people that he was working with, they register MK. MK is back again. Now they are contesting that, saying MK is our brand, MK is our trademark. But wait a minute, didn't you say you are not in MK? Didn't you decide that you are dissolving MK? Do you get a point? So I don't see any reasons why now you have a problem with MK. Like, I don't see any reason. So Ramaphosa should have answered and said, listen, let MK exist because we chose to dissolve MK. If somebody wants to resurrect MK, they are resurrecting MK at their own, but it's no longer an ANC thing. Instead of admitting to that, he goes on to say something that is fine, he shouldn't be saying. But there's something that I know that you should be saying, and that is, if you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come on, good people, because to subscribe, it is free. To like the video, it is free. To comment in the comment section below, it is free of charge. To click the notification bell, it is free of charge. To share this video, it is free of charge. To watch this video until the end, it is free of charge. Also, good people, come on, to watch the ads, it's free of charge, and that's how you financially contribute to this YouTube channel. Speaking about financially contribution to the channel, you can become a member of this YouTube channel from as little as 20 Rand a month. You can also use the super thanks button. In case you don't want to do that, guys, there is a way where you can use my media company banking details to donate to the channel, and you know what I'm saying, we'll bring you more, and also guys want to buy more equipment. So the power is in your hands. Please do the honorable thing as we proceed. But for you to understand what I'm talking about, the points that I'm about to, or the points that we are exploring in this video, they are the very same points that the MK are making. They will explain it better. Not long ago, I read an article that was released by Daily Maverick. Daily Maverick had a problem with what EMK had said. They are saying MK should be stopped by IEC. IEC should act against EMK, right? But Daily Maverick, they are saying nothing about the fact that it is the very same ANC who chose to resolve EMK, right? They are saying nothing about it. If you read the article, they are not saying. And that is the argument from MK to say, you chose to dissolve MK. Now you want to use codes again. It's unfair. But when the Daily Maverick report on that one, they don't quote that aspect. Take a look at what MK said.
Hear me very carefully. Yes. This country will be turned into civil war. The day that MK is not allowed to campaign and to be on the ballot paper, no one will vote. No one in this country will vote. We will make sure of it. No one in this country will vote. MK is not on the ballot paper. Comrades,
we are sending a loud and clear message that if these courts, which are sometimes captured, if they stop MK, there will be anarchy in this country. There will be riots like you've never seen in this country. There'll be no election. No South African will go to the polls if MK is not on the ballot paper.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna take us to Ramaphosa now. Listen to the response from Ramaphosa. Ramaphosa respond to this. Again, remember I've quoted that in Daily Maverick, it doesn't quote what the ANC under Ramaphosa, while the late Jesse Duarte was still alive, what they said about MK. They don't quote all of that, which are the basis of the argument from AK. No, what they've done, they just want to take the words from MK and then twist it and say things. And I'm seeing this with other journalists, but I haven't seen majority of journalists or newspapers reporting that. What I've noticed, even with Daily Maverick, and I'll tell you the truth, I love Daily Maverick. I love the way they write. Right? I just disagree with few journalists there with Daily Maverick. I follow the way they do things. Daily Maverick will do a thorough investigation in certain things, but sometimes, like now, they did not say, guys, this is where this thing started. No, they just show you this side and say, this is bad, this is bad. So if you don't know where it started, you will be carried away and say, oh, this is bad, this is bad. You understand what I'm saying? And let me just give you Ramaphosa as he responded. When he responded to what MK had already said, this is how he responded.
On people saying if a certain party of your erstwhile or your predecessor is not on the ballot paper, there will be outright civil war in the country.
Well, we've been hearing that, and I just want to make it very clear to anyone who is threatening any form of unrest, they will be followed up and they will be arrested. Those are people who belong in jail. Those are people who are the enemies of our democracy. The people of South Africa value this hard-won democracy, and they don't want any form of instability. And we've always followed the rule of law. When you are dissatisfied with any decision, be it a government decision, the president's decision, a minister's decision, even a court's decision, there are ways in which all those complaints can be followed up. So for anyone to say that if this does not happen, they are going to have instability, it's against the will of the people of South Africa. And I can promise you, those people will be followed up, we will arrest them. And they do not belong as part of the South African community that wants stability. That is going to happen.
Now, it then begs the question. Do you remember that there was a conversation about around courts being captured? Do you remember that conversation? It begs the question right now. Why do you trust a process that is in itself is compromised? If you can prove that this process is compromised, why do you trust such a process? But above everything, there's just one question that I'm battling with, and that is, why do you choose to dissolve MK, but when others decide to resurrect MK, you now suddenly have a problem? It's now your brand, it's now your trademark. Which trademark? Because you chose to dissolve it. Which trademarks? You see, the saying that says another man's poison is another man's food. That is what we have just been. That is what we have just experienced here. We have experienced exactly that. Another man's poison is another man's food. Meaning, let me show you this. What ANC saw it as a useless thing, MK saw it as a useful thing. ANC said this thing called MK is useless. let's just resolve this thing and once and for all, we don't need it anyway, right? That was the ANC's decision. MK says, this is useful, let's resurrect this and make use of this. Now, when they see that, this thing is so beautiful, this thing is so appealing to the to people, and this thing is attracting a lot of people, now they say, bring it back, it's ours. Does it make sense? And I think I've just made a perfect example. I don't think there's any example that is as perfect as this one. People must realize that, in fact, let me conclude this video by saying, people must be men enough to stand for their decisions. If you have made a wrong decision, you must then stand for the consequences. Do not be the victim, right? Do not now turn yourself into a victim. No, you chose to dissolve MK. Now that you chose to dissolve MK, when it is resurrected, you must now live with the consequences. It is that simple, guys. That basic human understanding, and it's fundamental. You chose to disabandon it. You chose to dissolve it. So what's the problem now? Like, I don't get it. Do you? Maybe you do. Get into the comment section below. Tell me what you think. I'll see you guys on the next one. But until such a time, please take care.